Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are going to present to you our project about the integral sexual education. Let's start.
Our project is focused on knowing the social problems that are present in the Ecuadorian territory, how the influence has a direct impact to the high numbers on the teenage pregnancy, and how during the decades and the cases have been increasing in Latin America and especially in this country. The purpose is to study the different actions, policies, and comprehensive sexual education plans that different national and international organizations, UNICEF, UN, UNFPA, Ministry of Health and UNIC, promote to ensure the welfare of youth, progressively reducing adolescent fertility. This in order of to subsequently take into consideration the potential mistakes that undermine the incentive base of the plants in the region and propose a solution that can be promoted within an educational and sexual education policies.
Arguments. Cases of teenage pregnancies have been increasing during the last 5 years due to the fact that Ecuadorian society is strongly rooted in a culture that promotes sexual abuse, child abuse, and child abuse, being the third country in Latin America with one of the highest rates of teenage pregnancies due to the rape, according to data that have been collected by civil society organizations and have been reported to the UN. Currently, in the region, pregnancies of girls between 10 and 15 years old, instead of decreasing, have risen, a factor that has directly increased the number of related child deaths.
Another fundamental factor that influences the serious condition of the country is the level of education that is transmitted in primary, secondary, and high school. While we know in an urban areas that the quality of education is short and the cases of teenage pregnancy are relatively controlled. The condition the rural areas has been visibly that opposite. And unfortunately, the precocious and deficient education present in these areas has a serious impact on the comprehensive sexual education of young people, who despite and desire, do not have the resources of timely information on sexuality. This causes them to the places with the highest rate to the teenage pregnancy.
Many times, teenagers are not informed enough to initiate and take their responsibility and seriousness of having an active sexual life. So, many of them make mistakes for the pleasure and conformity of their partner, and as a result of this, increases the number of teenage pregnancies, often being the only girl who assumes the responsibility that deserves to have the baby that is on the way. In some cases, due to the social stereotypes, the child is presented as a sibling of the adolescent to avoid the marginalization of the family in the social circle. In other cases, low-income girls choose to give the baby up for adoption once he or she is born in order to have a better life condition. And finally, a large number of young women choose the easiest option, which is the definite abortion of the fetus. Thanks for your attention.